Honorable Kojo Nkrumah has spoken, and he says that Bawumia outperformed Kufuor in first election, can lead MPP to victory. That is Kojo Nkrumah. And I read, member of parliament for Ofuasi Ayerebi, Kojo Nkrumah, has described former Vice President Dr. Bawumia as the most formidable flag bearer candidate for the New Patriotic Party, citing his strong performance in the 2024 general election. Speaking on Asempa FM's Ekosisen show, Mr. Nkrumah drew parallels between Dr. Bawumia's political journey and that of former President John Agyekum Kufuor, noting that similar doubts were raised about Kufuor's chances after his initial electoral defeat. He recalled that despite losing his first presidential bid, Mr. Kufuor went on to secure over 50% of the vote when he was elected flag bearer again, eventually becoming one of Ghana's most successful presidents. During Kufuor's time, people claimed, I'm paraphrasing, during Kufuor's time, people claimed that because he contested the main elections and lost, he couldn't run again as a flag bearer. However, when he was elected the flag bearer the next time, he won over 50% of the votes and went on to become one of Ghana's most successful presidents, he stated. So this is what Dr. Nkrumah is saying. Sir, there is a lesson to learn from our history. You know, say yeah, all of us, we are born into families, and when they're born into a family, you learn from history. They can tell you that in this family, men are not supposed to take alcohol. It is because maybe sometime in the past, some men came and they took alcohol and did not end up well for them. So it has become a norm, saying in this family, don't take alcohol. Right? In some families, they say in this family, we don't entertain cheating. All those things are there. So we all, one way or the other, believe in history. Now, when you come into MPP, our beautiful political party, there is history there to guide us. Now, history didn't say, there was a time someone appeared on the scene. They called him the gentle giant. John Agyekum Kufuor. Right? He contested to become president in 1996 and the first time. O contesti ebusian for Oriye Poto 1996 results Nanya easy. New Patriotic Party nya 39%. 39.67%. That is what the New Patriotic Party got. Now, what most people don't even tell us, which you get to understand, is say, San 96 election, MPP went into an alliance. MPP in San 96 election, MPP went into an alliance with the NCP or a political party like that. And so it was two political parties combined that John Agyekum Kufuor was leading, yet still on your 39%. And that is what the records show. So imagine with an alliance, two political parties coming together, Kufuor leading it. 96, he still failed to even get 40% of the votes. 40%. And it was at the time when Ghanaians were even getting fed up with Rollins. They faced the person Rollins. Nanka say a cool chop man Kufuor. But he could not make it. That notwithstanding, our fathers of old knew, say, look, this defeat, is not entirely about Kufuor. Okay? Maybe there were one or two issues that were left unaddressed by the party. And I say, the entire campaign strategy of the party, that is what did not work. Let's maintain Kufuor and look at the places where we went wrong. Let us rethink, reform, and then go into another election again. So Kufuor was presented again 2020 elections, and guess what? He won by over 50%, from 39% to over 50%. Now, history will again tell you, say, when you look at Kufuor's era and you compare with the current era of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, there is even a better chance for Dr. Bawumia. The first thing he say, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the first attempt, he got more than a year idea votes and I say percentage of Kufuor the first attempt. Kufuor's first attempt 39%, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's first attempt 41%. Number 2, Kufuor, as at the year 2000, would have had little to campaign on, as in his achievements. Very little to campaign on, because many people wouldn't have even remembered the time he was serving under Buzia, because Rollins came to sit and all those and so. But Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, at least most of the people who are going to vote in 2028 will be able to remember him for one thing or the other when it comes to how well our country developed digitally. And the digital development of our country, it had a lot of financial implications on our nation. Positive financial implications. How many lives were lost by initiatives that he brought? And I told you how some years ago, now they had not yet launched a drone delivery of medications. I was working at the DMB hospital. There was this woman that came, was rushed in. She came, she was in her menses, and she was bitten by a snake. And I told you how when a snake bites you, most of the time the venom works against your the coagulating factors in your blood. So what it means, they say, if you are bleeding, you will keep on bleeding until maybe you expire. Now, in the whole of Volta region, as at that time, now there was no anti-snake, anti-venom serum. None of it. The nearest place we could get it was Kolebu. If Kolebu, by the time someone picked the call and they had to make arrangements for a car to bring the thing all the way from Accra, the woman was gone. She had expired. I told you, when they say someone has expired, you know who. And what pained me most was that she left behind a baby that was breastfeeding. I mean, a toddler. That's whom she left behind. It was not a beautiful sight. And sometimes, when you work in some of these situations and you come across some of these things, you get to appreciate when politicians start thinking about the ordinary Ghanaian, as NDC is calling us now. You ask yourself, how many Ghanaians all over this nation were expiring in that manner? Because blood did not get to maybe Bole in time, blood did not get to Bolgatanga in time, or because some products, maybe even the blood type, is one of the very, very difficult situations health workers find ourselves in every now and then. The blood is there at the blood bank, but the type that the patient needs is not what is available. All these things. Okay? And through the ingenuity of Bawumia, Dr. Bawumia, some of these things were solved. Okay? So Ghanaians remember these things. We remember that a time came, you call hospital, and I like to use hospital because that is where I know. A time came when you go to the hospital, you spend 2 hours looking for your folder. But the doctor attending to you or the nurse attending to you so cannot start taking care of you before the folder arrives, because ABI with history, maybe you cannot tolerate ABI diazepam. You cannot tolerate it. And that is captured in your history. So they have to wait for the folder to come. And to be now. And all of those were digitalized. Today, you see what is happening in our hospitals? We are going back to the paper system. When you come to who teaching hospitals, some people even prefer to write in exercise books. So what I believe strongly say, should MPP, and inshallah we are going to give the nod again to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, 2028 is a done deal for us. Because Ekuya can't come in. Finally for tonight. Oops. I think Ekuya had that. That's good. All right, Moses. Let me hear you on this. Dr. Bawumia.
Yeah, so I don't know why we are even having this conversation. It's very clear that the most marketable candidate going into the 2028 is Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. You do not bring a new candidate in a system, especially when the opposing party or the main contender is going to present a new candidate. You have an advantage. Which part of this country that you don't find Dr. Baumia's posters? He's everywhere. He has T-shirt wherever he's going. Those T-shirt the people are wearing, some of them are not new. They're the 2024 T-shirts.
Yeah.
So he has printed his name in the minds of almost every Ghanaian, including voters that will be registering. So your best bet is to repeat that candidate, not to bring a fresh candidate. My mom doesn't know Kenya Japan.
Really?
She doesn't know Brian Achampong. She doesn't know Aduchum. She doesn't know Kwabna Japan. So you don't bring those people and you now try to introduce them to people. When you can bring somebody because he has been in the front line for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
And to talk about the transformative projects that he undertook during his tenure as vice president, you're even going far with the drone issue, just national health insurance renewal.
Yeah.
My people, I'm from village. My mom, they used to go to Navrongo or they go to Bolga and sleep overnight to renew their health insurance. And my father died because of it. You know why? A middleman took it to renew for him. And I was, at the time, I was still in school. And he told me that he was not feeling well. And for them, they don't go to, if once they don't have, because of the past experience of the cash and carry system, once they are not feeling well, they don't have insurance, they don't want to go anywhere. And then you said, go check yourself out, and you say, oh, I'm waiting for my insurance to be renewed. And there's a man in my village who's a middleman who used to renew for them and take some coin. That man withheld his insurance from January to April.
Oh.
When he eventually went, it could have been preventable. It was already late. And he started treatment in somewhere late April to early May, and he passed in August. I can tell you, if he could have renewed his insurance with his phone, he would have gone there earlier, and probably I would still have somebody to call a father.
Yeah.
And to talk about free senior high school, the investment that the MPP government made in free senior, they tried to downplay it. It was poorly implemented. It has lowered the standard of education. Look, if you are serious, you are serious. If you go to school and study, it doesn't matter if you are paying for it or not. Why are we not talking about apps like this TikTok, apps like Facebook, Instagram that the SS students are sleeping on every day? They are live. If you go off this live and check, most of them that are live and young girls, they're all on TikTok. We don't have that regulation like in the US or where they have to be very restrictive on the age. We don't have that in Ghana. So government should be looking at that aspect rather than blaming the falling standard of education on free senior high school. Myself, I wrote BC with my sister, and I was from a very humble home. They said, okay, my sister will go to school and I should wait for the following year. So I didn't go to school. I have to wait for another year to go to school. So what are you talking about? These are projects, these are policies that are transformative. So if you're able to educate that number of people, to have them have high school education, you have opened the world for them. Once you have high school education, you can go to polytechnic, you can go to university, you can go to the training college, you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Even to some of them, those that have done what do we call it? Gone to technical and vocational schools, they have something to do.
Yeah.
So we have a candidate that was part of all this transformative projects and policies that we can rely on to campaign, and you want to bring a new candidate. For me, I think that if we were fair, I don't think that if Bawumia said sometimes I want to believe that if he was not from a minority tribe, we wouldn't have any primaries. I think that factor is playing a lot in the MPP, and I think we need to kill it before it destroys us, because the MPP was founded. It was the political party was formed with minority parties that came together. The Muslim People Party or whatever, the Muslim Association Party, the Northern People Party. There were so many that came together. So why are we playing the tribal factor, playing the religious factor, and all those things? It doesn't matter who the person is. If the person has good ideas, that if I'm renewing my health insurance, do they ask me if I'm a Muslim? No. If drone flies medication to somebody in Ketakrachi, will they ask that is the person a Muslim before? It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Why are we so worried? So if what do the Christian present? What do they do for us? But when we get money, we go to Dubai to go and chill out. Then why are we participating in? Because those people are not Christians. Why do we go there for vacation? Why do we go to eat their food? Because they have to recite Quran before they kill all those animals to prepare those food. Why do we go to eat there? Why do we go to chill out there? It doesn't matter the religion. If it is religion that really blesses people, then why are the Arabs so blessed?
Right.
Why are the Chinese who are atheists, they are doing well? The Japanese, and most of them are not Christian countries. South Korea, and they are not Christian countries.
Why is US that has legalized LGBT?
Why are they doing well? So I think we should kill that factor, and on January 31st, let's endorse Bawumia to continue the fight against. And the sad part is the fact that we have all the camps fighting him instead of fighting the government, and it is only Bawumia supporters that actually defends, that is in opposition. The rest of them are in government. It's really interesting, but I just hope that, as he said, God can use Cyrus. God can use a non-Christian. But if you read Isaiah 45, the verse 1 to 3, the verse 1 says that to my anointed Cyrus. Cyrus was not a Christian. And the present day Persia is Iran.
Yeah.
And if you care to know the Persians, they were one of the they're one of the people that you don't want to mess with. So he used him. He was not a Jew.
Yeah.
He was not a Jew, but God used him. And you look at the things that he used him to do. He said, though you don't know me, but I know you. So I think as Christians and as Ghanaians and MPP members, let's be looking out for competence. Let's be looking out for candidates that will be marketable, candidates that will make our our journey to the Flagstaff House easier than to experiment on new candidates. This is my submission.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's my brother, and guy is sleeping. So, Ebushanfo, I'm willing to give 3 people the opportunity to come and also share their views, and then we call it a show. And you can send your requests while we share your comment section. You can send your request. Let me pick you, give you 4 minutes, and then I have to go and rest, and not even rest. I have to go and continue my project work. Postgraduate is not easy. And yeah, easy. So if you want to join, can you send a request? Let me pick you. Okay, there are requests here. Let me see if I've missed of the post. Let me see. See a couple of requests. All right, I think the people have. So Ebushanfo. So this is where we bring down the curtains for a year tonight. It was a late start. Started around almost close to 12 midnight. But you joined us. Thank you all so much. Akia and Moses, who stayed with me all through. And then also in the comment section, and then among the viewers we were so privileged to have a year Honorable Akosia Menu stay with us all through. I've seen Kumasi Queen, Baby the moderator. Thank you so much for being with us. Achimbema has also been here from the very beginning. Akia, Chacha, thank you so much. Abigail, thank you so much, Abigail. my own Madam Mami, thanks for joining. Sebuama, Nanama, Nax, GH, Neck Person, Wheels, Aila, my own mommy, Auntie Justina. That's my money plug. Kwame Jemfi, Queen Nask, Ejimaniao, Exhibit, ETL Car Rental, Samuel Prisla, Louis Douglas, Kwabnai Free, Yadom Maswell, Yakub Ahmed, Miss Veronica Baku, Blissful, Jesse, Brederick, Evelyn, Seidu, Majesty, Charles Dixon, Neo Akichiwa, Ben Brew, Big L, Hannah Evis, BYY, Pro iStore, Serial, Adelaide, User 51, AJ, Joseph. Violence is a Mugan Shakataka. Okay, that's Shakataka's laptop, I guess. Adombi and Great Andy B. Thanks to all of you for joining me tonight. And God willing, in the morning, Bobe and Naya, Ikea will be hosting on the Fat Base Network. That is where we spend our day. Okay? I mean, yeah, I don't mind. I'll come in the evening. But during the day, Fat Base Network will be on, Patriotic Defenders will be on, and any other MPP political show where you go and you don't insult an NPP member. That is place as well. It's good to stay on. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.